Hey sis, are you replaying something in your mind right now? Like you're replaying it over and over and over and over? Like it just won't stop. You just keep thinking about it and replaying it. And then what's making it frustrating is that you just cannot seem to let it go. You just can't. Like you've been going back and forth over the conversation around and around and around, thinking about like what was said, maybe what you could have done differently. Yep. And but now it's like it feels like your mind just won't even move on. Like it's stuck there because it keeps replaying it. And now you're wondering like, why do I keep thinking about this? What is going on? Like, why can't I stop thinking about this? Why won't my mind let this go? I don't want to have to keep replaying this and reliving this. Yep. If that's you, sis, let's talk about it because this is actually more common than you think. And let me tell you why it happens. It happens because, like, sometimes your mind is designed basically to process and make sense of things. So, like, if you keep having something on your mind that doesn't make sense or it has you stumped, your mind is going to keep trying to process it and to figure it out, like, what is going on. And so, like, if something feels like emotional, confusing, or unresolved, that could be why you keep playing it and replaying it and replaying it over and over and over. Because your brain, it just keeps going back to it. And it's trying to understand it. Like I said, and make sense of it all. And so your brain, it literally does not like unfinished situations, which is why it keeps trying to go back to it to resolve it, to like figure out what is going on and why you keep replaying it. And then so it's looking for like clarity, like a resolution, and even trying to seek, possibly even trying to seek some understanding. Yep. So I like analogy. So let me kind of make it plain as to like what may be going on with your brain and why you keep on replaying it. It's basically like you have a book, right? You're reading a chapter of a book. So you have this book and it's open and you're reading a chapter of the book, right? Because you feel like you missed something. So now you're going to go back and relook at it and revisit that chapter because it's like, wait a minute, I feel like I missed the punchline or I missed something. So now you're going to go back and look at it. That's kind of how your brain is like, something's not adding up and you don't understand something. So you just keep trying to replay it and replay it and replay it. And what happens is instead of moving forward, you keep going backwards. Like remember, like going back to that book, that chapter in the book. So instead of going forward, you keep going backwards. Yep. And let me explain like why it's hard to stop too, because like your mind, it believes that if I think about it long enough, I'll figure it out. Yep, that's what's going on. But the thing is that sometimes there's nothing else to figure out. Like there isn't anything else to figure out. Yep. Like if something triggered you emotionally, your mind literally may just be trying to protect you. It may be trying to like understand what happened and prevent it from happening again. But you keep getting stuck because you keep rethinking about it, but your mind is trying to protect you, but then you keep rethinking about it, which takes you back. Then your mind is trying to protect you and pull, and then you think about it and take you back and see how that cycle, it just keeps you in that cycle. Yep. But you keep trying to understand what happened and prevent it from happening again too, even if it keeps you stuck. And you're not doing it on purpose. It's just the way that everything, like the wiring and stuff, in a way, when you get stuck in the cycle, it keeps you stuck. Yep. So let's talk about what happens or what could be happening to your body. It's that mental replay. And so that's your nervous system basically staying activated. Every time you're mentally replaying it and trying to figure it out and stuff like that, trying to figure it out, trying to understand, trying to solve something that maybe you're never going to be able to solve, it's a mental replay. And so your nervous system constantly is staying active and it's activated constantly. Yep, because what happens is then your body's not fully settled because see you're still trying to solve something. Yep. So your mind may be saying something like, let me think about it one more time, or you know what, I just can't stop thinking about it. I can't believe they did this, and I was here, I did this, and I was good to them, or I can't believe they did me like this. All the stuff that I was there for them for, I carried them through, and then so see how you'll just keep thinking about it, and the things keeps you stuck. So if you think about it like one more time, but your body is saying, I don't feel resolved yet. It's not resolved. So you're still in the same cycle. Yep. But sis, not everything needs to be followed. Not every thought needs to be followed. And not every situation needs to be replayed or understood. Yep. So if you are finding yourself stuck in a process of rethinking and rethinking, and then you can't rest because you keep thinking, let me give you some practical steps that's research based that may help you. First is notice the pattern. You will stop yourself and say, okay, wait a minute. Nope, I'm replaying this again. I can see myself replaying this again. Second, you want to stop the loop and interrupt it. You could shift your focus intentionally. You could do that by there's something called the 5 4 3 2 1, and you could just shift your focus by doing the 5 4 3 2 1 method. Five, which means like, okay, name five things that you could see. So you look around, like right now, I see trees, I see water, I see like birds, I see a cord, I see rocks. So that's five things you could see. Name four things you can hear. You would just look or you would just listen and see what four things are you could hear. Then you could name like three things that you could taste, or three things you could smell. Okay, once you get to three things that you can smell, then you could go to two things that you could feel. And then it's like, okay, I feel like I'm sitting on this bench, or, I feel like if you're touching your hair, I feel my hair. And then one thing that you could taste. And then once you do that 5 4 3 2 1, it kind of shifts your focus. And so now you're not so fixated on that because you kind of shifted your focus to, what your environment was and what was in your environment and what you could see, smell, hear, and taste. So you could do that to interrupt the loop. The third thing you could do is name what you're feeling. Like if it hurts, you could say this is painful. Like I keep having to think about it, but it hurts every time I think about it. Or I'm so frustrated that I let myself do this or whatever, or I didn't see this or whatever the case may be. Just name what you're feeling. And then the fourth thing you could do is accept what you can't change, right? There's certain things you just can't change, so you could just accept what you cannot change cuz not everything can be reworked. Certain things it just happened. There's nothing you could do about it, and you just kind of have to kind of move on from it, like heal and move on from it and work through it. So just accept what you cannot change. And then five, you just want to ground yourself in the present. Again, you could use that 5 4 3 2 1 method that I just talked about, and that'll kind of bring you to the present. Because by the time you do the 5 4 3 2 1, name five things you see, name four things you hear, three things you feel, two things you can, so on and so forth. You It brings you back to the here and now because you're focusing on what you feel and hear and see and touch and smell right now. So just because your mind goes back doesn't mean you have to stay there. So when your mind travels back, you can kind of ground yourself, like I said, in the here and now, and that'll help you kind of focus on the here and now. Okay. And just remember too that God doesn't want you stuck in what already happened, because if you can't change it, there's nothing you could do about it. And God doesn't want you stuck in a state of confusion and what's already happened. Basically, he calls you to like have peace in the present, and he doesn't want you to keep replaying the past. That's not the life he wants for you. Okay. So if your mind keeps replaying a moment, a situation, or a scenario, just understand that you're not overthinking for no reason. You're just trying to process everything that happened. Okay. But remember also, the healing begins when you learn how to actually release it. There's just some things you do just can't do anything about, so sometimes you just have to release it. Okay, so I hope this message helped you, and if it did, please like and subscribe. Also hit the notifications if you like the message, and if it helped you get you some clarity or something like that, just please like and subscribe. Hit your notifications. I do try to post every day, and so our channel is about faith, healing, and mental wellness. And so basically I research stuff, or I pick topics that help us grow physically, mentally. It also helps us with healing, as you can see by like this message here. And so just for those who don't know, my name is Melinda. I'm a registered nurse, a life coach, and a mentor, and I love looking up and helping bring people, about to healing, giving you some clarity, and helping us to grow in our faith, in our healing, in our mental wellness. And so, if this is something that interests you, again, please like and subscribe. And I am wishing that you have peace, love, joy, and happiness. Okay, have a great day. I really hope this helped you.